More now on our top story, and Facebook has lost $40 billion of its value after it was revealed that British consultancy firm Cambridge Analytica gained access to data of some 50 million users. The social media company is coming under pressure from U.S. and European lawmakers who are demanding an explanation as to how the firm gained access to that data. Well, for more, we're joined now by Benjamin Ang, who is a senior fellow at the NTU University in Singapore in cyber defense. Thanks so much for speaking to us. First of all, can I just ask you if you're actually surprised by these revelations, or did you kind of suspect this would always have to happen somehow with social media being what it is?
Well, we had heard about Cambridge Analytica more than a year ago, looking into the area of how they've been actually taking social media data and building up psychological profiles of people so that they can target their messages to it. And this is actually part of a long pattern of data being collected by all the social media companies so that advertising at first could be targeted, and then after that, risk profiles could be built up for different purposes like employment or insurance or loans. So in a way, it's not surprising. The scale of it may be a bit more than we expected, but it's definitely something that has been on its way. And
okay.
It's.
Do you think, though, at the core of the problem here is the question of legislation trying to keep up with technology?
Absolutely, that legislation is not going to be able to keep up with technology, because looking at this situation, legislation barely covers what happened. When the person involved created an app which Facebook users then allowed it to gain access to their own personal information, it was the users that were giving consent. And they, like most of us, would have just clicked on the accept or allow button without really thinking much about it. So in a way, this is making use of a lot of loopholes and gray areas and to be able to exploit them. And after this, even after we pass legislation to handle this particular situation, there'll come another way to get this data. And this, because we are still used to these services like Facebook or Google gathering all of our personal data, we have become so numb to giving our data away so freely that it's all out there. It's all there waiting for somebody to manipulate it and exploit it.
Right. I mean, tell us, ideally, what would you like to see done right now to better protect users of social media, for example? And I mean, in some cases, as you said, they willingly give this information, and it's also something they've become used to, that their data is kind of floating out there. Do they deserve and really want protection?
I think we don't know what we want and we don't know what we need, because we've actually been thrust this free services and it looks such a great thing. And I think we need to realize that there's no such thing as a free lunch. On the other hand, it's no longer practical to tell people to not use these services because it's become a main form of communication and commerce. So that leaves the platforms, and the platforms have to take more responsibility. They have to be more alert to how the data is being used, and they have to be more alert to how the data is made available, because they are the ones who are holding on to the data. And it's as if a bank was letting people walk in and out of the bank vault and helping themselves to the cash inside. So they have to have much more responsibility for this. And if they can do something before regulations come in, I'm sure they wouldn't want to be overly regulated. It's in their hands to basically protect our data so that they can protect themselves.
A lot of the onus is on us. Okay, Benjamin Ang, thank you so much for joining us from Singapore.